Gotta get this light into. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. Come in, come in. Let's go. Come on in. Let's motherfucking go. Yeah. We're gonna bring you out of scales, baby. We're gonna bring you out of motherfucking scales, man. You know what I'm talking about? Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to a live on Know the Ledge Media. They got me shadow banned on Instagram. It's been going on a month already. I don't know what I'm shadow banned for. I don't know why they decided that they wanted to stop me or, restrict my Second Amendment. My First Amendment. They took my first and my second from me, but that's another story. So we here. We here. We're here today to build about the interview that I watched all day. I feel like I was watching this shit all day. And that interview that I'm speaking about is the Kanye West Drink Champs interview, what is known as part 3, right? This is the 3rd interview that he's done with them. So we're gonna recap the interview. Salute to everybody, yeah, peace. I would do roll call, but as you can see, I'm off my phone right now, and I'm in the lounge. I'm inside of my lounge and whatnot. We'll show you the lounge. We are just, getting ready to open up in a few hours. Let me show y'all. That's the Royal Chamber. This is our lounge. All right, so right now we just doing cleanup and everything and getting everything ready for later on when we open up. A lot to unpack. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna try our best to do facts over emotions, right? I don't wanna get into no arguing, I don't wanna get into, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanna get to the facts. So the Moors, right? And one of the things that I learned rocking with the Moors is facts over emotions, right? Facts over emotions. When they delivering that law, when they getting into that motherfucking information, they just giving you the information. I didn't cut none of my hair. My shit is braided tight. I just got good braids. Because I want to have an interesting conversation. Think about it. You are going to encounter a lot of thought pieces, right? Everybody is going to have a thought piece about this interview because that's what we do. We live in ignorance is no excuse of the law, right? Ignorance is no excuse of the law. So I won't be endorsing, nor will I be condemning. I'm just gonna speak on the facts. We're just gonna talk about what was talked about, and we're gonna approach it from an angle to give you context, right, and narrative, so moving forward, you're not distracted for 2 weeks or for damn near, a whole month, because we know how our people love to drag things and how our people will, and they'll saturate the market with their fucking thoughts and their 2 cents. You know what I mean? So let's get into it, right? First of all, before I even begin talking about Kanye, let's talk about Nori, right? Who's the host of Drink Champs, right? Who, historically, for reference points, is a student of somebody called Tragedy, the Intelligent Hoodlum, okay? This is hip-hop history right here. This is hip-hop Wikipedia. This is hip-hop Jeopardy. Tragedy Gaddafi, right? Tragedy Gaddafi, the Intelligent Hoodlum, is from Queens, and he's known for being very knowledgeable, right? When we were introduced to CNN, which comprises of Noriega and Capone, these were God bodies coming out of Queens, right? And in their lyrics, they displayed a level of intelligence, street knowledge, right? This is Noriega that we're talking about. Capone gets locked up, Noriega becomes an independent artist. He dumbs down his flow for commercial purposes, and he becomes Super Thug and shit like that, right? The T-O-N-Y, Noriega, is not Nori, right? Noriega and Nori, two different artists, right? So the podcast host that we have been introduced to, who also goes by the name of Nori, in some ways has also made the conscious decision to dumb himself down as a podcaster, right? So the decision that he had to obviously make was, instead of approaching his interviews or approaching his questions, or when in the presence of people who are having what is known as streams of consciousness, or expressing themselves in a very knowledgeable way, similar, almost, but not exactly to how the gods would do it, not just back in the days, because if you grew up around the gods, and if you see a god, he's still a god, right? 9 times out of 10, he's still gonna be building with you. So if you met somebody, whether in the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the mid 2000s, and you met them and they was godding, and you, cause it ain't just, these niggas are not just God in name. They call gods because they build and destroy, right? Wu-Tang Clan, God Body, right? Before them, Rakim Allah, God Body, right? Big Daddy Kane, King Asiatic, Nobody Equal, God Body. Do you get the picture? These are the people who are thinkers. These are your AZ. These are your thinkers. When you look at the pens that they have, these are not mumble rappers. King Son, right? King Son. These are not mumble rappers. These are men of intelligence. You know what I'm talking about? Brand Nubian, Grand Poobah, Sadat X, right? Lord Jamar, right? If you go to Genius, or if you go and read the lyrics of all of these artists, don't even go and listen to the music. Go and read the lyrics. Guru. Go and read the lyrics. Go on Genius and read their lyrics, my nigga. How did they know this at 17, 16, and 15? And they putting shit in a rhyme. They're talking about shit that's going on right now. Facts. These niggas is talking about, I'm talking about early Wu-Tang shit. They're talking about all of the gods. I can't even, don't even, Nasir Jones. How about that? Nas, nigga. We're talking poor righteous teacher. We're talking vocabulary, right? These are teenagers. These are not old heads. They old heads now. They were teenagers, right? They were teenagers giving it up. They were going amongst what they call the Jews and whatnot, and they were professing who they were in rhyme. Yeah, shout out to Nas Pops. Oludari, right? The gods don't even really get their just due. They don't get the acknowledgement. They don't get the respect. It's almost like they don't get the they're not getting their proper flowers. X-Clan, nigga, where would we be? Prodigy, right? Where would the mentality of melanated people? We're not just talking about New Yorkers. Melanated knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. That is KRS-One, right? Whilst not claiming God body, definitely dropping knowledge of the gods and whatnot, directly influenced by the knowledge base. Remember, this is you talk about egregores or thought forms of groupthink of whatnot. This is a youthful organization, an organization that some people will call a gang, right? But not necessarily. This is an organization of young black men who both got busy in the streets, but they were they were walking encyclopedias, and they were doing something with thought that hadn't been done ever. I read a lot of books, even though I respect people in the 20s, 1920s and whatnot, even though I respect our people in the 1800s, 17, 16, 15, I don't recall coming across information where they was building like this. Dead prez. So Nori comes out of that. You understand? So if Nori comes out of that what we talking about is the effects of niggas smoking weed. We just ventured off into a whole nother topic. We need to talk, has weed dumbed down some of these smart rappers? Because they was talking about high level shit about 20, 30 years ago. These same men are acting like they never talked about that before. Shit be going down, and these niggas haven't really even showed up to be like, I've been talked about that. This is what's gonna happen 10 years from now. They out here acting like they just heard about shit like that. Like, really, Scooby? What type of amnesia? What type of memory relapse have our whole culture had? It has a lot to do with the culture. It's not them personally. It's the fact that they belong to a culture that rewinded, by dumbing itself down, it rewinded itself almost backwards. It backslid intellectually into a whole nother place. Niggas went completely, not just savage, niggas went completely dumb. The dumbing down effect, nobody talks about, well, when did it stop dumbing down? At what, what level of dumb down did niggas go to? Because these niggas have dumbed themselves the fuck out. Where basic information, like niggas are back in a sunken place box of we black and we slaves. Hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter. Niggas have backslid so far, right? As a result of being in this deaf culture, as a result of being in this backwards ass, dumbed down, motherfucking short bus culture, that the argument of today is the fact that Black Lives Matter, that niggas is even saying it with compassion and not living 1 minute of that. What do you mean, Red Pill? What I mean is, it's 2022. If this shit really mattered to motherfuckers, we would collectively be doing, fuck is you talking about, what everybody else that's collectively coming together to do. And that would be the rule shit. That would be the own shit. And we would be moving mountains. But we're not. We're arguing over emotional shit. We're arguing over, the mundane. Seriously. When you really step back and look at niggas is stuck at police brutality, not getting justice for homeland terrorism that's being enacted on them. Niggas is completely stuck. So going back to Nori, this nigga asks the stupidest questions, bro. When you start, when you expose any form of consciousness around Nori, this nigga Edward Scissorhand clipping wings out this bitch. Son, fam, at this point, it's more than just a flag on a plate. He's fucking up the algorithms, bro. Dead ass. He's not allowing certain things to grow, my nigga. He's out here deforesting the motherfucking forest. The niggas is out here about to turn into something, and he be turning the lights on. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit, bro. And the other nigga, EFN, he's not as bad, but this is an apology tour that these niggas be on when people go up there and they ready to express themselves. And they be on liquor, bro. They got spirits in them. And here come this nigga asking red herring questions. It can't be a coincidence at this point. You feel me? Like I said a minute ago, he grew up around some of the most intelligent black men who have ever walked this motherfucking planet in generations. You know what I'm saying? He was exposed to shit like that. He's of my age. He's in my age demographics. We watched motherfucking Incredible Hulk the same time. We watched Video Music Box. Me and him, we probably watched He-Man, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Voltron. We came up in the same culture. And he's an archetype for mad niggas that's out here. You know what I mean? Why are you comfortable living your third childhood, my niggas? Why are you comfortable dumbing that is a pet peeve of mine. Why dumb yourself down for the public? Who is the public? Who the fuck are these niggas that you trying to impress? Show me them. What short bus are you niggas pulling up on? Who are you trying to impress? The feeble-minded? Are you niggas not tapped in to know what's going on other channels and podcasts? The level of information that's being spewed in these networks, my niggas? And y'all still decide to fucking play it safe? Y'all still decide to tap dance, and they been canceled American Bandstand, nigga. Y'all still deciding to play, y'all playing it safe for who and for what, my niggas? Y'all, I mean, this shit is, and it is a pandemic on many of these podcasts, but the glaringness of the dangers of shit like that just happened with this Kanye interview. You understand? He had things that he needed to say, bro. You understand? He had things that needed to be challenged when he said it. You understand? There's a level of non-biasness that you have to show in an interview. I don't give a fuck if that's your mans in them or not. Niggas is not wrong and strong. And you don't lose anything by challenging your guests about the shit that they're saying. Or you got permission to add on, little nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You got permission to add on. If a nigga's going there, you got permission to go there as well and take it there. And y'all niggas keep climbing the steps and go up Jacob's ladder. and take the people where they need to go. I mean, the level, I could feel it through the screen, the level of uncomfortability these niggas were undertaking when this man was sharing his mind, right? Unapologetically. You understand? Unapologetically, and he was speaking from a place, even if it might have been considered to be all over the place, right? After all, they are drinking the do say. You understand? It's called drink champs, niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas get up there and go drunk and you know and tap in. You understand that part? But the things that were shared today, the shit that he managed to get out, because I'm not going to stay on this situation with our good brother Nori, because let me share something about Nori. He has a heart of gold. You understand? He has a genuine spirit, you know what I mean? Childlike in a sense, but serious at the same time, you know what I mean? And his way of learning or absorbing information may be different from others. And for that, you know, it is what it is. But salute to that brother. Salute to that brother. Let's get to what Kanye started talking about. He said a lot, so let's begin in sequence. I don't want to be all over the place. I want to be meticulous with this quote unquote recap, you know. So he started off and you know, he's warming up, right? So they're talking to him about doing the show. Right? So you could tell, you know, he's comfortable, he's in his bag, he's been there 3 times. He expresses that other networks have canceled his interviews and they wouldn't let him up, so this is the place where he wanted to go. And in my humble opinion, that was the best place for him to go, because the last time that he was there, he got lit. And he got, you know, he was able to explain himself and redeem himself for his next quote unquote life, or his next, canceling that basically took place when he donned the White Lives Matter shirt and people lost their fucking minds, right? Automatically start throwing them away. Niggas was burning Yeezys and shit like that. So, oh yeah, nah, he definitely. I think the best person to interview a person of Kanye's caliber would be 19 Keys. That would be the interview of the year right there, a high level conversation, because I'm interested in not just hearing him talk, right? This ain't TED Talks, my nigga, right? I like to hear what's on someone's mind, and I like when they're free with their visions and whatnot. They give me an idea, because if they speak my language, if he said their food, art, clothing, and tech and shelter, right? He said food, water, shelter, clothing, right? He's speaking the facts language. So one of the things that I have learned in my days, right, on this earth and whatnot, is that when it comes to doing business, or when it comes to seeing eye to eye with people that, you know, look like you, you're not always gonna agree on everything. Earn Your Leisure is not better for that interview, in my humble opinion, respectfully. No, high level conversations, right? No, 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 nah. Mm-mm. So let's get back to this conversation and whatnot, because I didn't even begin really. So yeah, so I'm gonna just cut right to some of the interesting points because I don't want to forget it. If y'all don't, if y'all let's just get right to the shit that he talked about with the Jewish people, right? Let's get right to that. Yeah, I would love to see Brother Rich interview him as well. That would be great too. I agree, right? So he says something that interests me. It was like, all right, is this? It's a chess move in a sense, and it was a mimicking, right? In the art of war or in the game of chess, it was a very wise move. It was a move that is, considered a way to move yourself out of what people may perceive as your imminent, demise or your imminent, quote unquote, canceling or your imminent death. Because, of course, we know that there's going to be a large segment of our people who are going to utilize they're going to project their fear and they're going to project their uncomfortability directly on him. And they're going to start saying things of the nature that he's going to be sacrificed, he's going to die, he went up against this. You know what I mean? They're going to project their fear all over the internet. So prepare for that, right? But what he did, which was, people are going to judge what he said and whatnot, but I saw it as a chess move when he said that he was jealous, right, of the Jews, right? And he's not talking about the black Jews. He specifically said that group of, people who identify themselves as that, right? And I'm going to show you that he flipped a few things, but this was the first flip. Now, when he said, I'm jealous of this is how he lined it up. He said, I'm jealous of the fact that they don't kill their children. I'm jealous of the fact that they work together. I'm jealous of the fact that, so he's basically saying, instead of directing anger, he said, I'm bringing the smoke to them, right? Right? But I'm not just bringing the smoke to them in a sense to whereas I'm going to be what they're going to label an anti-Semite. He said, I'm going to make them answer some questions. I need them to feel like, nobody is reproachable and, I'm going to judge them, right? But then when he flipped it, he was like, look, I'm jealous of them because I want my people to be like them. So in a way, he's saying, I want our people to be, more, pro-life, right? I want our people to not suffer underneath the spell of Margaret Sanger, right? The eugenicists and things of that nature. I want that spell to break. I want our people to get out of poverty and come and work together collectively, right? As an ant farm, like I've been talking about, like we've been sharing on many other occasions, like with Dr. Claude Anderson, who he quoted in this interview again, like he talks about and whatnot, the collectively coming together regardless of your emotions, just the facts. And what's the facts? The facts is that we're a nationless people as it is, don't even have a correct name as a people, right? We can't be in a nation state because the state exists, but the nation doesn't. You can't have the nation is not black, right? That's not a defined nation. So the state exists. We live in the state of New York, the state of Georgia, the laws, the sheriffs, all of that shit exists. But in a nation state, you got a state and you got a nation. The Asian nation is there and some other nations are there, but we haven't been defined yet as a true nation. We don't even have, we're not collecting taxes amongst our nation. The power of our nation is unrealized, even if we do have a nation. How do you think our people made it happen back in the days? How do you, with nickels and pennies? How do you think our people got out of poverty during the numbers and whatnot in the 1920s with nickels and pennies? How do you think our people collectively was able to buy acres upon acres upon acres of land? They were estate owners. These people built cities and towns. You niggas ain't built nothing yet. You ain't built nothing. And they managed to do it because they came together. They did not have gangs and shit like that. These motherfuckers did not have color, they didn't have color wars back in those days. They didn't have shit like that. Right out of motherfucking slavery. Fuck is you talking about? What is your excuse? What is our excuse? Pardon me. So anyway, and then he flipped it. I'll get back to that in a minute. But he also flipped it. When he said, that he was jealous of the Jews, right? You know, whatever. He said that niggas is not gonna Nick Cannon him, right? Then he dropped some shit that really was like, that's how you play chess, little nigga. He said, if I'm a Semite, if I could prove that I'm a Semite, you wanna talk about anti-Semitism, right? I'm the Semite. We the Semites. We the Hebrew. We the Jews, right? This is about what? The lack of information that one group of people have. And those people is our people. It's the fact that we lack information. Like he said in that interview, that intelligence is over money, right? This is about intelligence, knowledge, right? Or what they call consciousness over all of that other bullshit, because that's not where the power rests. Because if that's where the power rests, niggas in the NBA, in the NFL, and all other places where they got a lot of money, they be powerful and they not. That's not the source of all power. That's not the source of a power in America like that. It's intelligence. It's information. So he said, we the Kemites, right? Fuck is you talking about? Just you don't even got to do a lot of research to figure that one out. So if it's anti, he said, no, we the Semites. If it's anti-Semitism, if you go to Apple Music or if you go to Spotify, the first 3 albums, and I'm a bone your wife, I'm gonna shoot you down. When I catch you, I'm gonna spin the block and kill you. That's anti-Semitism, because we're the Semites. So everything that these labels are promoting, and they're getting millions upon millions of dollars promoting and selling and distributing and whatnot, they are the true anti-Semites, because they are profiteering, right? If you read your books, the profiteers, or they're profiteering off of the death and destruction and the ultimate disunification of a whole nation of nationless people who don't even know who they are, right? So how, right, could these people call this man anti-anything, and he's saying, no, I'm calling y'all out as a group, because that's how y'all identify yourselves, as the group. So as the group, I'm saying this, y'all profit off of our people's ignorance, right? You're not signed to us. We're signed to y'all, and shit don't go good. There has to be, you know what I'm saying, a common denominator in all of these stories that we hear, and all of these depictions that we've been made privy to by watching the TV shows that speak about the music industry, the entertainment industry, movie industry, and all of these industries that have ripped our people off left and right. Artist after artist after artist after artist after artist after artist after artist. They have single-handedly, right, aided and abetted. They finance destruction, right? But they're not there to help to finance our people's upliftment or our beautification or our gentrification. You understand? But they finance the music or the images or anything else. The new drug gets pushed through the lyrics that these companies have stocks in those same pharmacopoeia companies and whatnot. This is a fact. This is well known, right? So he said, how could I be he said, I'm not an anti-Semite, right? A lot of these people who are calling me that, they can identify as that. And I felt that that was something that was, that was an eye-opener. Stocks and death, right? That was an eye-opener because it is what it is, right? He explained that a lot of these artists are bought and sold for. They're controlled because the controlling element are a group of people who control everything. But not only are they controlling everything, they are doing our people a disservice. So a lot of the ripping off that they're doing, that affects our community. Y'all talk FBA and everything, that affects our communities. That affects our families. That affects that affects our surrounding because they'll finance the destruction and then they'll rip the artists off. So when it comes time for that artist and his quote unquote assumed riches or his resources, they don't even got none. Because the accountant ran off and cooked the books and whatnot. The label jerked them. The lawyer robbed them. They lined them up to get a fake case and whatnot because they work hand in hand with them people, right? They probably lock you down. You know what I mean? They lock niggas up, take your assets, you know what I mean? Fuck up your momentum in a way. And everybody behind the scenes is getting paid of your misfortune, right? All of the misfortune that these artists go through. They're funding. They're being, this is a loan, the labels are loan, they're banks, they're loan offices. They're funding to the tunes of 1 million, 2 million. They give an NBA YoungBoy supposedly 40 million. Kodak getting signed for 20 million. They're giving out a lot of money to fund what? And when it comes time for that money to either grow or work for anything that we could see that was tangible, we don't see it. But I see the tangible killings. I see the tangible dope dealers. I see the tangible destruction. I see the tangible rise in crime. I see the tangible deterioration of a culture. We're in a death culture. It's not giving light. It's not birthing anything that we could be considered, life-giving. The life insurance is, the key person insurance, the policies that they take out on these rappers, the death clause in hip hop, like Wesley Muhammad just talked about in the interview. This is real. This is real. So, Ye said in the interview when they asked him about the White Lives Matter t-shirt, right? And I've said on this show, and I already made it clear that I'm not triggered at all by tactics that any artist or entertainer does in the name of entertainment, because I know that's just what it is. It's entertainment. So I'm not triggered by no shit like that. I'm not triggered by a t-shirt. I know that that's a way of that man getting your attention and to trigger because he's a troll who will willingly put himself on the cross just to have a conversation, just to get some attention. Because attention is energy and attention could be monetized. And it has been on many occasions ever since, we opened our eyes and whatnot. We've seen it on TV. We've seen it on the internet. We've seen it in real life. So he's one of the latest archetypes that come along and do things. He's called a court gesture, right? He'll make a spectacle of himself to do what? To garner the attention of the king, to garner the attention of the people, to get you talking about him and giving him energy. Now he's on a press run. Now he's getting ready to launch his presidency. Now he's out here explaining himself. Now he's basically, putting out, he has the attention of millions upon millions of people to do what? To deliver a message. Whether you agree with it or not, it's called facts over emotions. That's how masters of attention in this attention economy work and whatnot. He didn't do it through, and he did tap into the trauma industry, or he did tap into what he called the trauma economy, and he trauma bonded with you niggas. You know what I'm talking about? But he's the court gesture that you read about in the Law of Power, okay? That's the role that he'll play, and he takes many roles. He's a Gemini, right? But that role right there of the court gesture, he'll stand there with Candace Owens. He'll make a spectacle of himself. He's the court gesture. He'll say something about Jay-Z and Beyonce to get your attention. He does shit like that. He puts his wife's business out there and things of that nature. So his statement about the White Lives Matter t-shirt, outside of what he said about it prior, because he did talk about it at least twice, but he said his baby mama's white. And her life matters. That's what he said. You feel me? And at the end of the day, he has a point. He has a point. His baby mama white. You know what I mean? And he understands. He said that he did a trifecta, or what he called, let me give him more credit. It was whatchamacallit, a triple entendre, right? He said, me and Candace wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt neutralizes the argument, because, it has conservatives and other people, looking at people who we're not supposed to have worn a shirt like that. So it confuses the right. It confuses that side. Then he said on the left side, it kind of like is a smack in the face to BLM because of the fakeness of what that represented. Then he also said, my baby mama is a Nordic, or my baby mama is considered to be white, and her life matters, so white lives matter. He didn't get into Pope John Paul on the front of the shirt. He didn't touch on the whole Pope John Paul iconography on the front of the shirt. But what he did say that was also interesting is the designer of the shirt, right? Who's, of Jewish descent, right? Has not, basically won't even release the shirt and whatnot because of the fact that he's, he's being persecuted by that nation of people, right? That nation of people. Keep in mind, people are under the impression that Jewish is a race of people. It is a nation of people, right? Let's look at it more as a nation. It is a nation of people, and it's of many races, right? Okay. But he kept saying something about our people being them people. And he kept saying black people, because, people would be appalled, like, oh my goodness, I don't believe he said that, right? But, they just don't understand how the trolling goes. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's entitled to their reaction to whatever's going on, especially with a celebrity, because what we don't want to do is we don't want to lose sight of, the influence that celebrities have in our culture. Blue Pill already gave y'all the science, the metaphysics, right, of a Kanye West. Him and Al-Keelan, when that book drops, is going to go a lot deeper into the true science, because there's science behind a lot of things, and there's science behind a lot of these characters that are on the global stage. You call them stars and entertainers, and you turn your nose up to them and don't give them their rightful acknowledgement about who they are in these days and times. But that's not something that we do over here. Remember, facts over emotions. Fuck you talking about, right? So he said that our people are the chosen. He said that our people are the true Jews. He said that our people, right? So even if he says that a white life matters, and then he hold on, I forgot this part, and they edited it too. This was fire. He played a recording from Farrakhan, right? He played a recording from Farrakhan talking about Yakub. He played a recording from the minister, right? Sounding like the Godfather, you know what I mean? He played it on his phone. And the minister was talking about Yakub. He said white lives always mattered because when Yakub created the European or mankind and whatnot, he did it for a reason. Then they basically cut to commercial. They didn't let that shit play out. You might have heard about 30 seconds of Farrakhan, then they cut to commercial, and then when they came back, these niggas was asking him a totally different question. You understand? So you know Farrakhan was going deeper. I'll make sure to get the uncut version there. You know, before there has to be a unedited version out there somewhere. You know what I mean? But yeah. And then what made it even interesting is that he was referring to this life that he's living as a video game, a simulation. He was referring to reality as we know it as the hologram, right? He spoke of his life, right, that he understands is finite, right? Because once you can express yourself to the world that you understand that this shit is just a fucking game and it's not real, and one day that our quarter is gonna run out, and you know, and you niggas can't kill me, right? Not in this game. I do it myself. Because if you were to even do anything to me at this point, you immortalize me. Checkmate, nigga. This is a game, isn't it? So if people don't understand the fact that they're seeing somebody who, because niggas is gonna count his money, they're going to place themselves, you know, because everybody wants to vicariously live through other people, and of course everybody wants to be a billionaire. Of course everybody wants to have a sneaker company. Of course people want to be adored and whatnot. So they're gonna be like, oh man, I would never risk my life. I would never put my neck out there. They're gonna count your money. Because you got too much money to be doing that. You should just be counting your money. You should just be doing this. Maybe he's realized even that $6 billion, what a nigga with $6 will tell you, is not about the money. Maybe he realized that. And that's something that people will never realize because they'll never have that much. But maybe he realized that this shit is still a fucking game. Even with 6 billion or 6 quadrillion, it's still a game, nigga. It's still a hologram. It's still a blink in the eyes of higher dimensions. And the key is to immortalize yourself when you're here. Speak your motherfucking speech. You understand? Get your shit off before they get your shit off. You understand? Get your shit off before they get your shit off. So your words will last longer than you. At least you got it out your motherfucking brain. At least you had the testicular fortitude to speak whatever truth that you have at the time. People are going to judge that man based off of his truth that he's going to share at this day and time in his life. However, we are all held responsible for our truths in these days and times. of the times that we're in currently in our life. So my truth today may not be the complete truth that I have 10 years from now. 5 years from now, I might have another live and I'm saying something more refined and whatnot because the experience of being here for that amount of time did what? It leveled me up. It opened up my eyes to some things. It made me wiser. So I'm gonna let that man, people like, he got a death wish. He explained to you niggas that this shit is a motherfucking game. Y'all be worried about the wrong things. Everybody be worried about the wrong things. And it be fake worrying sometimes. You niggas are scared of death. You're scared of the end because you're not enjoying the now. You're in fear of the inevitable, and that's a fucked up box to be in. Get out of that shit. The fuck is you talking about? He's flirting with that bitch. You understand? He's flirting with her. But why not? This is a man at a place where he don't give a fuck. And he made some valid points. He asked some pertinent questions. You understand? He really asked some pertinent, how is it that y'all running the culture and we don't got nothing? How is it that we can't talk about these group of people, but these the people that are bankrolling our people's quote unquote, you know, lowly, our lowly state, our lowest frequencies. You know how Stormy, the chick Stormy had the low vibrational plate? These niggas is feeding y'all the low vibrational plates. They feeding you like Stormy said. They feeding us low vibrational plates. They're behind the pornography industry. They're behind the rap industry, which is now the deaf culture. They're behind Hollywood, Weinstein and them, Epstein and them. Pretty much. They're behind social media, right? And everything that comes with that bag of tricks, right? That Black Mirror and whatnot, you know, that what's the word? That threat. Like a lot of the waywardness, a lot of the backwardsness. There's certain people, yeah, San Fernando Valley in Cali. San Fernando Valley, where it all goes down. These are the people that are all behind it. So what Ye was saying was, I'm jealous because he wants to live in the world. I don't like the word jealous, but it is what it is. He decided that that's how he wanted to express himself. To me, like I said, that was a chess tactic and a chess move. You know, it's passive aggressiveness. It's passive aggressiveness. You understand? And then people mention men like Pac as being a real one and whatnot. And he definitely was a real one. And so was Nipsey. And the people let him down. Because he already gave you the blueprint. Then you niggas let him down. The people let him down. Like, and that's the case, you know, with a lot of things. Nipsey already told the people what to do. Tupac already told the people what to do. He made 60, 100 songs. He wrote poems to you niggas. You understand? Nipsey left you the blueprint, my niggas. And he gave you some fucking clothes to wear. So niggas went more violent in LA when he got killed and murdered and assassinated. And they said that they was gonna stop the violence, and the violence tripled. So what are you talking about? So back to Ye. He was saying, in so many ways, that, you know, he said what I heard a lot of people saying, that we not winning because we not working together. As a people, we not winning because we not owning shit, right? We could be doing a lot more. That's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah, the people is a fan club. No offense to the people, but the people is a fan club, and they finicky and whatnot, and they're not, they're not real until they become real. So the people that love Nipsey, you know what I mean? They don't love him that much. The nigga who touched him is still breathing. The people that love Pop Smoke, nigga, the nigga who killed them eating Pizza Hut. You know what I'm saying? If you really love a nigga, yeah, Drake, yeah. So not only does Ye need to open a bank, but as a master disruptor, right? As a master disruptor, he has the potential, right, to revolutionize Web3. If he had the right team to get with him and put together the right plan, he could definitely become a big mover and shaker in the Web3 decentralized world, because everything that he's talking about, you know, it's and to be honest with you, this type of turbulence would have been needed for him to have the effect as a disruptor. It wouldn't have worked if he just came along and popped out and did and was like, yo, I want to create my own crypto and whatnot, or I want to basically, we building our own blockchain. We getting into DeFi. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put my money in JP Morgan. I'm gonna put it somewhere where it grows. I'm gonna go ahead and invest in these black-owned banks, or melanin, or whatever you want to call it. But to be honest with you, at this point, it shouldn't even be black-owned. It's just a DeFi bank. You know? Yes. Put it like this: if he were to ever sit with my team, we would put together a team, like a transition team. You know, my Rolodex. You know, I don't want to brag or nothing, but I don't know nobody with the type of Rolodex that I got in this game. You know, so we could put together a mastermind group. We could put together a mastermind, a think tank. Fuck a think tank. So, but to make a long story short, you know, it was a very interesting interview. There were more points that were made. Definitely, there were a lot more points that were made. I'll save some of those points because I'm gonna be talking about this on Melanin Monday and whatnot. But we did get into some things tonight that we could chew on. You know what I'm saying? We did get into some things that we could chew on. Overall, the interview was interesting. It was definitely a classic. He went there on this one more so than he went on the other ones. This is definitely, it's gonna get a lot of coons uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because I put a post up that Black Dot had put up, and it said when coons see, or when house niggas or obedient niggas see one of us being disobedient, oh man, they really get upset. Like homie that you seen on the Django, they really get in their feelings because they take it personally. You know, he's gonna make this shit uncomfortable because a lot of the small hats is gonna make you niggas kiss the ring. They're gonna make you pledge allegiance and whatnot. They're gonna make you apologize for him. You know, they're gonna make you niggas apologize for Ye. As he holds his nuts, they're gonna make you niggas apologize, and it's gonna be pitiful to see. But I'm sure if I go on Instagram right now, it's already started. You know, the the pushback or the blowback has already started. But I feel that he's more sincere in his approach than people give him credit. I think that, he may definitely still be suffering from his what I call behavior modification, right? The psychotropics, the fact that they went inside of his head. He talked about the spirit cooking with his Armenian wife. He brought that up, the spirit cooking, and the fact that the mother is, she's the one doing a lot of the rituals and, the with the children, and she's the witch, she's the she's the source, right? But then, yeah. So I do know that the spirit cooking has an effect on him. But even with his bipolarness, and even with his Gemini-ness, right, bringing out the Gemini in him, right? He's left-handed, he said. Even with that, you still find what you need to find, right? You get past the bullshit, or what they call chew the meat, spit out the bones. You get past the things that will make you emotional, right? You don't get caught in the emotions of things that are being said. Because niggas could sit through Glorilla. You sat through Nicki Minaj arguing with Lotto. You sat through Little Baby's album, Young Thug Marathon, and all kind of shit. But then it's a problem with this nigga. He offended you. He gotta go. He's the worst, right? But you niggas sat through, you sitting through Little Dirk Body Count. You know what I'm saying? You sitting through all of the drill rappers. The drill rappers is out here. They got more bodies than Michael Myers, nigga. You pick a state, nigga. NBA YoungBoy. Pick a state. Baton Rouge, Memphis. Pick a state, nigga. It's a whole bunch of places. And this shit is on Twitter. It's on YouTube. It's on the ground. We following body counts like fantasy football. Fuck is you talking about? Real bodies, nigga. And they got dances to the shit in the Bronx. These niggas getting sturdy. They got tribal dances to the bodies. And they got rapper packs. They got weed that you niggas smoke. So cut the fake outrage out. You know? Cut the fake out. Your lives don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We in a deaf culture. You niggas is on demon time. You worshiping Baphomet, the backside of him. You feel me? Niggas got possessions. There's people underneath the motherfucking egregores. Is niggas is possessed. Niggas got entities in them, right? And they gateways. And then there's a whole contingency of motherfuckers who willingly have got into some satanic shit and sold their souls and whatnot. And these niggas are damn near draconians. But even with Ye at this point, it's bigger than rap. Because to be honest with you, what up? To be honest with you, I'm not gonna put nobody in no box, and I'm not short-sighted and whatnot. And it's bigger than entertainment at the end of the day. I don't feel like this nigga is gonna be a president. He's not president material, but he could be an interesting investor, or he could be a very effective, board member, or thought leader. You know what I mean? Or thought leader. He has the right to to claim that, be very wary of your geniuses and their awkwardness or the fact that they are considered to be painting outside of the line. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? And stop trying to control people and stop trying to own people and stop trying to run people just because you listen to their music or you wear their sneakers. That ain't how life works. But yeah, we chopped up enough game. Shit is starting to get picked up in here. We about to open up soon. Um, yeah, come and visit us though. Come and pull up if you in Atlanta. Even if you're not in Atlanta. If you're not in Atlanta, we doing something on the Day of the Dead, October 29th. We playing all of the dead rappers from Scotland Rock to P&B Rock, right? We paying homage to all of the dead rappers and we dressing up like the ancestors right in here, right? It's gonna be lit. Come from out of town if you have to. Pull up though. We'll have more about that. We'll put the flyer in the community section and we'll talk about it more. But we're gonna be really turning up and enjoying life and celebrating and paying homage to the ancestors. You know what I mean? We're gonna have pictures of the ancestors on the walls, right? Even all of the dead rappers, but also our master teachers and other people that we pay homage to. And then we're gonna honor them that night with their music, and we're gonna turn up, cause that's what we do. You know what I mean? That's what we do. You know, pay homage to the quantum realm, the other side. But yeah, with that being said, Melanin Mondays tomorrow. Make sure you tap in. We're gonna go in. I might even have special guests in the building and whatnot. We're gonna chop it up. We'll go a little bit deeper into the interview. But yeah, man, chew on what we just chewed on, and y'all stay solid. All right, love and light. Peace. This is 49 Bennett Street, the Royal Chamber, 49 Bennett Street, Buckhead, Atlanta. All right. We open from Tuesdays to Sundays from the hours of 7 p.m. to midnight. All right. Tap in. We got food, we got drinks, we got CBD hookahs, 420 friendly. Yeah. And we got God Hop music. Love and light. And we play Kanye too. Fuck's you saying?